Welcome to the Total-MLS Roundtable, August 19th, 2014, CONCACAF Champions League underway. If you're watching on Fox Soccer Plus, which I don't have, and I don't know how many people do have, but if you have it, Portland leading Alpha United, as I called them in our little pre-show, something called an Alpha United, 2-1 in some faraway land, Guyana. How do you say that? Guyana, I
Yana.
guess. Yeah, there you go. Portland up 2-1. Oh, their massive road trip. It's a pretty long flight from Portland down to the islands of the Caribbean. Sporting Kansas City plays in about an hour from now. They play in, if you look at their Twitter, they just tweeted a picture of what looks like a little white fence with a guy has on a camera stand that looks like maybe some scaffolding that was taken from a local construction yard. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Philip was talking about their stadium earlier. What did you say about their field last year?
It's from what I remember, it's kind of you have the technical area, and then behind it is it's just like a white wall behind it. So it's almost as if the benches are surrounded by the bleachers, like surrounded by them. It created a very weird but very interesting look to the game.
Good old CONCACAF with their, and Portland, if you're watching it, is playing on a cricket field, cricket pitch, cricket ground. I don't know what the proper used term for a cricket playing field is, but they're playing on a cricket ground that beat up is a good way to describe. That's just the joys of the Champions League. Each MLS team that qualifies each year has some odd run-ins and some faraway lands. I'm sure you could talk to some different players of teams that have been down to Panama and all these places with the interesting things they've seen, but that's part of the Champions League. The Champions League in Europe is, huge, and it's like the tournament. Here it's kind of second fiddle. I mean, it kind of gets the U.S. Open Cup treatment. I mean, if somebody gets to semifinals, finals, it seems to pick up some steam. But what do you guys? What's wrong with the Champions League? I guess is one question, and why is it not as popular as some may think it could be?
Well, MLS teams as a whole haven't been successful. It's been dominated by Mexico for the most part. So a lot of I would imagine a lot of fans have the mentality of why focus on this? We're just gonna get blown out anyway. Focus on the league, the Supporters Shield, and winning the Open Cup if that team does go for the Open Cup. I just think that it's something that's so out of the reach for many, and not many people are interested in it. That why bother?
Yeah, and that's I think. I mean, you see some teams that'll take it seriously. We got a tweet. It's pronounced Guyana, apparently. Thank you.
And can they see you? Because I can't see you, by the way.
Yeah,
I could see you through the entire pre-show.
I'm like hiding myself. I don't know. I see myself. It's probably my Wi-Fi going up and down and all kinds of crazy.
Well, I just thought you were actually in a cave, so it was cool.
yeah.
Good to know.
Sometimes I broadcast out of caves just to keep things interesting.
Well, you're a spelunker, so I mean it makes sense.
I do spelunk in my spare time. Just a little something I do just to keep things fun. But yeah, if you're not seeing me right now, you're not missing anything. It's probably, hey Corey, how's it going?
What's up? Sorry, I literally right as I saw that email from you, I saw that I did get the Google Hangout, so ignore the email I sent you.
It's cool. See, this is what happens.
You're back. Now you're back. See, while he was there, it was him.
See, my camera's back.
There we
This is the joys of the roundtable.
I think
People pop in, pop out.
to
We
answer
still have
the
it.
question, I think nobody takes it seriously. That's the problem. If people
Yes.
take it seriously, it would be a serious event, a serious tournament, but nobody takes it seriously. Well, just let's mail it in on this one and hope we can win the next league game. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Somehow the Champions League talk turned into spelunking and Corey jumping in, and
So we had a real West Wing thing going on there for a minute.
that was like very Blair Witch Project. If you're watching this on the YouTube feed, or if you're watching it after the fact, Corey's entrance was very Blair Witch Project.
It's live, baby.
It's live television, live internet television. This is what we do.
I like keeping my skin very fair, even in the comfort of my own home.
See, this is the. See, he's also he's going into his cave to continue the broadcast.
You're absolutely right.
Oh.
So as Corey settles in, if you're hearing some funny sounds, that's people plugging in headphones. You never know who may just pop in.
Oh, I don't know.
Still waiting for Rebecca Lowe to pop in. But she hasn't made it yet.
Well, the Premier League started last week.
That was perhaps one of the greatest finds ever. The Premier League starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock. British people doing American accents is quite humorous. It should be like there's probably a Tumblr, right?
Sure.
Yes.
If not,
Yeah.
if not, it needs to be started. So anyway, back to the Champions League. Portland is now in the second half, up 2-1. But yeah, I think what you guys were kind of saying, as teams look at it more seriously as something to be prideful in, to something that they want to win, and not, like Tyler said, not just, well, we have a league game on Saturday and that's what's important. I mean, does the draw of the Club World Cup do anything for anyone, really?
It's not until that's like prestigious enough. It's just not. I mean, like, you get to wear a cool badge at the end of the year. I don't know what like the financial ramifications are of it and everything, but it's just, I don't know. Nobody watches it. It's always held in like Korea or Japan or something like that.
Yeah, it's in Asia at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
U.S. time, so probably on Fox Soccer Plus also.
No, it's probably Fox Soccer to go. It's probably not
Yeah.
even for Fox Soccer Plus.
It's streaming on Fox Soccer to go.
Good go.
Somewhere Gus Johnson is trying to pronounce these players from like the Asian champions and the Middle Eastern champions.
Wait, you mean he's trying? That's him trying? Wow.
Oh, well, Gus gives it a go. I don't fault him for them kind of throwing him in as their lead soccer guy, but I mean, if anyone's to fault, Ronaldo's been in soccer for how many years?
Yeah.
And he says the most, just the weirdest things, like, oh, Liverpool's going to do well in this match if they don't concede. Like, oh, really, Eric? Thanks for that expert analysis.
Is he the epitome of you can't fix stupid? Is that what that is?
He's like, I want to say that he's pretty smart. I mean, I may be giving him more. I may be giving him a little, being nice to him, but I mean, I think he's smart. One of the first memories I ever had of soccer was Ronaldo scoring in the '94 World Cup. I don't know if y'all remember that. I think it was in Switzerland, or
yeah, the game in the Superdome in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah,
I think it was off a free kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, and in I think the only reason I remember that's because of what's his face, Palomar, on Twitter. He went to the Superdome and put up, because it's like a big, decrepit wreck right now, and he went up and put all those pictures of him hiking around it and everything in the locker room. It's just kind of like eerie, but anyways, yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool piece on the Superdome, and Paulo got access. If you haven't seen it, go look for it. think
Yeah.
MLS. I think it was on MLSsoccer.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, so just search Superdome or Detroit or something. It'll come up. It's pretty interesting.
I,
Um,
Yeah,
I just
that's
want to say, I just want to say before anyone says it on Twitter, it's the Silverdome.
Oh, Silverdome.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
what
that,
did we
yeah.
call it? Superdome?
yeah.
Silverdome.
Well,
It's not.
no, because
Superdome's in New Orleans.
Does everyone realize that Superdome sounds better though?
right.
It sounds
According,
super.
It was an
according
extra
to
in the movie I Am Legend, right? Silverdome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're
That's a,
right.
oh, Kevin, you seen it? It looks like they're reeds. Oh, never mind. Well,
Superdome does sound cooler, but
yeah, I think Hulk Hogan would agree with.
yes. Is there a gold dome? Because that would even be better than Silver Dome.
No.
Silverdome?
No, that's Jerry World in Arlington. He's
Jerry.
he's charging $80 a spot for parking so he can gild his dome on his stadium.
That's Jerry. Here at in Houston, the at Minute Maid Park where the Astros play, it's like $5, $10 to park for Astros games, and they just had the Beyonce and Jay-Z concert. It was $80. So
Park?
to park, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I guess people were paying. I mean, there's really no parking, like assigned parking for Minute Maid, which is like touchy. It's right next to BBVA where the Dynamo play. There's just kind of lots everywhere, so people are free to charge, I guess, whatever the hell they want. So there's no public transit into downtown Houston yet. They're finishing this light rail project that's taken like 70 years. That'll eventually get down there. See, this is what the Roundtable is. We go from Champions League to Beyonce and Jay-Z parking prices. It's all in a day's work.
And Tyler failing at jokes about movies that came out 10 years ago.
Yes, and great movie lines, British people in it speaking in American accents. You get it all here.
And vanishing co-hosts.
Vanishing co-hosts, Blair Witch Project.
Just here one moment he's gone. We all live in Corey's world.
We're just living in it. It's all.
I didn't go anywhere.
He's just hanging. All right, so Champions League. You have Portland playing right now. They're up 2-1. Kansas City plays later. DC plays tomorrow. So does Montreal. And New York plays next week, I think, right? I think so. I think they do. That's the yeah. They play Foss next Tuesday. So that's the 5 MLS teams, the 4 US teams, and the Canadian champion. Is there any one of those teams that you guys think can win it? If so, who? Philip, you're probably going to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Sporting. I want to see who they get in the winner first before going all in. But I mean, I saw it this year where they were okay to good in the group stage, and then they got blown out in the first leg because it's the beginning of the MLS season. So schedule-wise, it's tough for any MLS team to get through. But I hope that. I hope Sporting gets rid of Bieler because we don't really need DP money on sitting on the bench and not even playing.
Yeah, where's
So
he been?
yeah,
Why
so,
are they say in Chicago they wanted him? Like sign Bieler. To what?
I'll drive him to Chicago. I mean, he's a great player, but if you're not going to use him, why waste the DP spot and the money on him?
Yeah, I mean, you have a DP striker, and he sits the bench.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, it's kind of.
And
And
you got Dwyer who's only making like 90 grand.
yeah, you got Dwyer out there that's like,
second in the Golden Boot.
yeah, it's kind of Houston has that problem with Alex Lopez. He's a young DP, which counts less against the cap, but he never plays, like ever. He gets up to warm up, and people get excited, like, oh look, Alex stood up off the bench. It's
Who
amazing.
the heck's that guy?
And he wears number 10, which, like, oh, there's our number 10. Look at him go.
Well,
The
I know
number,
something about sitting strikers too. We have a DP that's on the bench consistently as well. So
what's up? What's up with DPs sitting the bench?
uh, poor decision making by the front offices. I don't know.
That could be part of it. That's definitely part of it.
Or I mean, I'll defend Sporting on that. I mean, they did get Bieler when Dwyer was off to Orlando, so they really didn't know what they
Yeah,
had until
they didn't know Dwyer would be,
yeah.
this world beater that he is.
Yeah, but it's not. That's to assume that Dwyer took Bieler out of the lineup. He didn't. He was out of the lineup.
That's true. That's true too. I mean, I don't know what all went on in the back room, so who knows why Peter sat him out. All I know is that Peter's a very, very in the moment kind of guy. So, if he sees somebody that's good in training that week, you're going to play them. It doesn't really matter where they're at, in terms of salary or age or anything like that. There
Yeah,
else could be other issues too.
you never know what goes on in the mind of a manager. We've all played Football Manager, so I think we know, right?
Yeah, I'm practically a licensed. Duh.
I could practically probably work in the championship. Definitely in ASL. Eric Winalda can coach via Skype. Speaking of Winalda,
Yeah.
so I think that's doable. So Tyler, you think any MLS team has a shot at winning the Champions League?
Sporting.
Portland? Oh, I thought you said Portland.
Sporting.
Yeah,
Would be the only club that I could see actually pulling it off with the depth they have, with Bieler not playing. He'll be fresh for something like that. That's about it.
he might be their like Champions League secret weapon.
Yeah, the Iker Casillas of CONCACAF.
Yeah, teams have cup goalkeepers. Maybe they have a cup striker. Bieler just plays cup games and racks up goals. Corey, you agree? Sporting the lone MLS shot.
No, well, I've got the brackets here in front of me and everything, and I mean, I don't know what the knockout round pairings go into for the CCL, but I actually think New York has a great shot because if their group paired up with because they're in Group 3 with Montreal and FAS, and
Yeah.
FAS obviously is probably the odd man out there, but the impact have been so poor this year that I just don't see New York dropping anything to them. And then if they're paired further with Group 4 in the next round, I mean, it's Waterhouse, DC United, and Taro. I guess DC, since they've revived themselves, aren't a total blow off, but I just like New York, and I think they're very qualified for the whole thing. But KC aren't pushovers either.
They rank the group winners. So
Yeah.
one plays 8, 2 plays 7,
Okay.
and so forth.
Okay.
I think so. If you have you have the points and then I think goal difference.
Oh,
So
okay.
Last year Houston lost their group to some Jamokes, and the group winner only had 6 points, so they were the last seed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's why the Mexican teams are going out trying to beat people 5, 6, 7-0 because they want to be seeded, and then they wouldn't play an MLS or another Liga MX team till the semis. Just kind of the right way to do it, but
Yeah.
we'll see if MLS does that.
I think you'd probably end up seeing MLS do that if they had the option to. I mean, taking off a week during the middle of your season during an intense schedule, or not taking off a week, but having a less demanding game is nice.
Yeah.
It's all the Mexican teams can sit high and pretty because they've been able to do that for years. But I think when it comes down to it, and MLS teams can actually do it, I think it's the default choice because anybody would do it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our thoughts on Champions League. I'm sure we'll be checking out the Sporting game later tonight. If you follow us on Twitter, which at Total-MLS, which I'm thinking you do if you're watching this or listening to this, we just sent a tweet about this rumored new MLS logo. I'll let you guys check it out too if you haven't seen it.
I did not see it.
That's floating around. Apparently, this guy Brady has got this text from someone that works at MLS Works, and this is going to be some new logo that's coming out next year. It is on a T-shirt on the picture. It is like, it says Major League Soccer, and it's green and blue. It has a soccer ball and then the MLS Cup on it. You guys see that?
I mean, it looks good. I'm just wondering why they chose to use MLS Cup. Like,
Yeah. Who puts their trophy in their logo? It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know any other sports.
I mean, the NHL. Well, yeah, the NHL doesn't even do it for the Stanley Cup, I don't think.
No, unless there's, I mean, like the playoffs logo or something might have it.
Yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs do, but
yeah,
not the regular NHL.
Why reach the logo and then still keep a soccer ball on it, like a cheesy 1996 soccer ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna, I mean, like the Premier League has a lion. I mean,
yeah, he's got a cool foot on a ball.
Yeah, he's pretty badass. He's like,
oh.
There's a lion playing soccer. The MLS logo right now is just a little shoe kicking a ball.
It's like some nondescript leg magically hitting the ball.
Yeah, whose leg is that? You know how they say Jerry West is like the logo of the NBA? Did they model that shoe after someone?
Ronaldo
probably.
Actually, Charlie Stilitano's foot. It didn't really fit, so they had to resize it. I mean,
that was maybe like Freddie Adu's foot.
Don't surprise me.
It only has like 6 cleats on the MLS logo, so I don't.
It's a child shoe. It's a child shoe.
It has to be a child. Some kid was like just kicking a ball in a park, and they were like, "Hold on, can we take a picture of you?"
It's symbolism, guys. It's representing the league being represented in its infancy, therefore it's a child shoe, and it graduates to silver. I don't know. This analogy goes.
Their trophy somehow.
Yeah.
This is the analysis you get on this program. And now they are like, the league is becoming a crowning achievement, so they need to put the trophy on it to show they're becoming a champion of league. I don't even know. But yeah,
not a straw grasping, but that's okay.
I would think if they were going to not rebrand, but come out with a new logo, it would be next year. It would probably be in time to do it. They have the new TV deal, the new teams coming in. It's kind of the MLS 3.0.
I would think they would do something special with the 20th. No, it's not 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that 20.
Yeah.
This is 20, technically, like, what's 21st season?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don Garber, Don, if you're listening, if you're watching, Soccer Don, send us a tweet. Confirm or deny.
No, I think we're in season 19.
Please deny that.
Yeah, we're in season 19.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was thinking the 94 World Cup, but
96.
95, but the actual season that they go by is 96.
Yeah, because it's first.
They got the World Cup by agreeing to start a league.
Yeah.
Or that was part of the getting the World Cup.
I have a Rapid shirt from 2006 that has the 10th season on the back. So
2006, the first season of the Dynamo.
Oh, that's the day that the Earth cried.
What? It was actually the first season of Houston 1836, which lived for about a week and was never saw the light of day. That was their original name, Houston 1836, and it didn't make. And that's the year that Texas became independent from Mexico, and all the Mexican Americans in Texas were not happy with that name, so it got changed to Dynamo.
Go figure. So you stole from the Russians. That makes sense.
Well, Dynamo, Kiev, the Ukraines, maybe.
Oh, that too. Sure.
There's your history lesson for today, kids. All right,
Just
so yeah, go
But
ahead, Philip.
just to butt in, I just saw this. We were talking about Baylor playing in cup games. He's actually not starting tonight. Uh,
He's not.
CJ Sapong is starting up top.
CJ Sapong, the Cup striker, Claudio Baylor, not starting. Come on, Peter, get it together. Oh, looks like Portland just went up 3-1. The great Adi with the goal for the Timbers. 3-1. Looks like they're on their way to 3 points at the cricket ground in Guyana.
Yeah, the pictures that I've seen on, because I can't get a good stream for it and everything. It looks like a giant box, like a square shaped field that they're playing on.
That seems legit. Very legit.
It's probably the best that they're gonna get there, but
And Merritt Paulson just tweeted, "That was pretty soccer on a cricket field during a rugby game." So there's the Portland thoughts on the situation down there. All right, so if that rumored logo is real, you know how things are nowadays in the Twitter sphere. I'm sure we'll hear about it like a week before the season starts, and they'll just roll out a new logo. That's kind of how MLS rolls. But
Yeah, and then it'll be beaten to death by Twitter, and then they'll change it back to the old logo within 2 days.
yes, probably. That goes back to our discussion, I think it was last week, about throwbacks. MLS, if you're listening, throwback weekend. Get it going. Corey wants to see some Dallas Burn jerseys.
I almost sank like $70 into a Burn jersey on eBay the other day.
See?
Pulled out of that the last second.
People, you can make a killing. Adidas, start printing them.
I think throwbacks would be awesome. Just a one-off thing. I think it would be great.
I mean, it worked with Portland. They had the white,
Yeah.
and
Those are
then
sweet.
yeah, I just loved them. And then they kind of semi throwback and semi not with the green this year.
Mhm.
Top notch.
I used to own a Tampa Bay Mutiny, a Kappa kit for like a long time. That would be that like if that somehow that came back, I would totally buy it again. Even if Adidas makes it.
Yeah, Adidas would have to jump in and take over everything, but good old Adidas. It's funny how there was a player I heard from, and they'll remain nameless, but talking about Nike kits, like those are way better than ours. So I think some MLS players are not really cool with the Adidas jerseys, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, it's a good contract for the league. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Adidas makes good stuff, even if you don't really like it. Like you can't knock it for not being good. It's always like very high quality.
yeah. Adidas makes cool. I mean, there are some of the MLS jerseys that are a little lame. Chicago.
That one's rough. It looks a lot better in person, I'll say that.
I like the Quaker shirt, man. I like oatmeal, so maybe I'm reminded of it.
There you go. It's all about the product placement.
Yeah.
If you like Bimbos, you like the Union kits. Oh, it's not Bimbos. Oh, it's a product. Okay. Not actual Bimbos.
Right, no.
Oh,
I think it's Beambo. That's how you get around.
oh, Beambo. That's
How I think that you
that's
get
pronounced
around.
Beambo. All this time I was thinking, dang.
Was
Oh
it?
well.
Isn't it Spanish? I mean, isn't it Mexican?
Yeah, it's Mexican. I knew that. So let's switch back to the actual league, Major League Soccer. Now that we're kind of talking about its new logo, every week it seems like we come on here and we talk about the standings, and somebody's playing well, somebody's playing not well. Oh, this team has no shot. Last week I said the Dynamo were finished, and they won against Philadelphia, showing a little bit of life. But teams that are struggling, we go to our good friend Tyler in the great state of Colorado, where the Rapids have sunk, and now today news of their captain being out for the season. What's going on in Rapidville? How are the spirits?
Sadness is going on here. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I go on this roundtable, and all of a sudden we tank 3 straight, and then
Yes, there was a tweet the other day from the Total. Ever since Tyler came on the roundtable, the Rapids have not won a game.
yeah.
So you're out there, Rapids fans.
Well, I'm gonna test your theory because I think we're done. I think this season is pretty much over. It's in the can for us, but
See, there you go. You just write off a team on here, and you're going to bounce back with a win now.
yeah. And seeing Drew go down is always tough. I love him personally and professionally, so it's tough to see a guy like that who works really hard.
Yeah, that's one of the real good guys in the league. I don't think there's any supporter or maybe Salt Lake people that would say something bad about Drew Moore. But get well soon, Drew. If you're out there listening, you probably are. You love Total MLS, but you guys have a tough one tomorrow. Home for LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be a season tilter.
The Landon Donovan Tour 2014. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Are you guys giving Landon a framed photo like Columbus?
No.
What do you guys think about that?
That's
Team
stupid.
giving another player on another team a gift. I mean, it's Landon Donovan.
Yeah.
I mean, like here in Houston, for example, the Yankees started their season in Houston, and they presented Derek Jeter with like cowboy boots and golf clubs, something really stupid. Like, hey, look, we're
He's an ambassador. He's an ambassador for the league.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Welcome.
mean, Donovan's a little different because he's played on the national team, so there's probably fans in each MLS city that are fans of him. So
Yeah.
it's a little different than a guy like Jeter because he's never going to get cheered in Boston, but Donovan will get cheered. I mean, not cheered, but there's people that respect him and admire him for being on the national team. But thumbs up, thumbs down to
No, as a
the.
supporter, absolutely not. No. He should get nothing except for booed probably up until the end of the game. At the end of the match, sure. Applaud
Yeah.
the guy. He's there. I'm going to be respectful to him, but a lot of people want to do like a standing ovation between the 10th minute to the 11th minute, and I'm not about that. I'm there to support my club, not some random guy who's announced a future retirement. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to retire in probably 30 years, guys. So let's start this tour where I can be revered for the next 30 on my way out. I think that's ridiculous. I don't care. I give no blanks about him leaving the league. Great, he did a lot of wonderful things for us on the national team, but I've never liked him as an MLS player. Never will. Will not cheer for him. Will not make a tifo for him. Will not hand him an embroidered sock. I don't care. I don't have anything to give him except for booze and probably some birds.
Booze as in BOOS or BOOZ?
As in moo,
Oh, okay.
I'm not going
Say,
to throw anything
you
at
want to
him.
give him some booze, like,
Yeah.
hey, Landon, come out to the tailgate.
Well, I want him to actually have some girls come by because he might be single or something. Some booze.
Maybe he comes by the tailgate before the game, drinks a little with the supporters, and then he's unavailable for the game. It's a great plan.
Some booze. No, just
Oh, okay.
the opposite of applause. Booze.
There we go. Philip, what did you have to say on that?
Well, I had to pull up my tweet from when I found out, if I wouldn't mess it up. I said, nice to see Columbus Crew legend Landon Donovan getting a tribute in front of the home crowd. Wait, tell me he never played for Columbus. Yeah. I'll give an example. I'm in the EPL, I'm a Liverpool fan. So Tim Howard has played for Manchester United and Everton, the two big rivals of Liverpool. When Tim Howard plays for Everton, Tim Howard sucks, okay? That's all there is to it. Now, when he's wearing the U.S. jersey and he's playing for the U.S., I love him. But, no, when he's wearing Everton blue, no, I'm not rooting for him. That's all there is to it. And it's the same thing with Donovan. When Donovan retired, I saw a lot of people saying, well, LA deserves to win the cup.
He
Great
already
send off. No,
No,
I
he
want to.
announced retirement. When he announced
Yeah,
it, he said when he retired. He hasn't even retired yet. He's just
yeah.
and he's going to eventually retire at some point.
I mean, I don't want to see LA win the cup. I want to see Sporting win back to back. That's you're a fan of your own team. Don't root for anyone else. No matter who's on it.
I didn't say
Donovan,
he bought him something or gave him something, but I would
yeah.
have
I
something
mean,
about.
Donovan. I mean, how I saw it. I think I mentioned. I said, Donovan's already won four. If there's anyone I'm rooting for to win an MLS Cup, it's Thierry Henry because he hasn't won one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Corey,
Yeah.
are you down with the Landon Donovan gifts?
The gifts are a bit odd. I mean, it's like a nice gesture. I think with Columbus, it might outside of LA, it might be the only place in the States and in MLS where like that would be very appropriate. Because think about how many times Columbus it became home for the
Yeah.
national team and how many times he's played there. But like anywhere else, like doing like a Mariano Rivera or Derek Jeter like farewell tour or something like that. Like I think it just would be over the top. I mean, if teams are gonna do it, they're gonna do it. And if if I can just put my 2 cents in, if Dallas ever does it, I just want to see them give him like a revolver with his name engraved on the barrel, and that's all they need, and that's it.
That'd be pretty legit.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah, give him a good Stetson and a revolver, and that would be great.
He would probably he'd probably stand there and be like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this?" Yeah, if you didn't see his gift from Columbus, he got apparently a frame with all of the goals. I think it listed all the goals he scored at Crew Stadium, and then a piece of the net
And that, yeah.
that he
Okay.
that
All
from
the
the
goals scored
from
against
Mexico.
him, or just in general.
All the goals he scored, so like against the Crew and for the national team.
Oh.
The whole thing just showed like it gave me the feeling of like Columbus is like trying desperately hard to be Donovan's friend. Like kids in the playground, like you get like somebody gives somebody all this stuff because they want to be their friend. That's how I felt what Columbus was doing. They were putting the full court press on. They want some love from Landon.
Maybe they're like trying to bring him in as a coach or something after maybe Landon's gonna like go to Columbus and hang out with the Crew fans. It was. I think I agree with you guys. It's kind of strange. Landon's a great ambassador for the league. He's done a lot for the league, but it feels like at the end of the year, maybe at MLS Cup, the league does some big ceremony.
Or maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year at the start of the year, they retire the number 10 league wide.
No.
Oh no, probably not. Okay, no, not that.
That'll get some people going if that happens.
He didn't break racial barriers in soccer or anything. He's not
No.
Jackie Robinson.
I don't think you should retire any soccer jerseys on that topic at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't. What are you gonna like retire number 9, number 10, number 11, your best players, and then what do you do going forward? Yeah, we don't have number 9.
I'm a United guy, as you know, but that's what we do. Number 7, greats wore number 7, so they wear it, and only the most special player or the new guy that they want to be special wears it.
Yeah.
Don't just retire it. I mean, that crap that happened with the Cosmos, where they retired, what was it, Pele's number, and I think they did Giorgio Canalia's too, which is cool, but at the same time, now you have 10 and 9 that are no longer going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Striker can be wearing number 47.
What happens like 30 years from now? You got your goalkeeper number 36, your right back number 81. Yeah, you just have some random numbers. I don't see any retirement jerseys anywhere in MLS. I think a lot of teams have their walls of honor, like Sporting has, different, like where they put guys' names on them or they celebrate guys. But jerseys, like Tyler said, let the next guy wear the new number, you know. But that's our thoughts on it. All right, guys, about 15 more minutes left. Let's move to the Eastern Conference since we talked about the demise of Colorado. Oh, one last thing before we get off the West. Corey, FC Dallas, blazing on all cylinders with the great Tesho, great Castillo. This coming from a guy in Houston.
I know. I'm really
I,
surprised.
I said last week, and it hurt me dearly to say it, that Dallas is actually fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, you guys have never won trophies. You stick to your little cannon that you won from us. But, I mean, that's cool.
And the Brimstone Cup, for what it's worth. I think it's dented right now too.
But is this the year? I mean, you guys have a decent team.
It's like got a little bit of the glimpses of 2010 when we went on that big unbeaten run. I think in the same like way that 2010 was such like a marker of a year for the team. It was because we were insanely organized. We were very tough to break down. But that's in Henman's way. And Henman's way was playing still, very conservatively and being very good in possession and on the break. And like Pareja, he just kind of got to the point where he likes possession soccer a lot. But there's a very good article put on MLS Soccer about about his kind of inner battle, like philosophical battle with that. And he's like cool with conceding possession now because it just works. And you kind of just have to go with it whenever you got a team playing this well. So, Tesho, I'm a big fan of his, for one, because he played at School of Mines, which is where my dad graduated from college, and two, just because he seems like there's not a ceiling on him, at least a foreseeable ceiling on him yet. Like he still shows glimpses of good things every single week. So the first couple of games that he started, it was just being able to hold up the ball really well, and then the past few weeks, it's actually his movement off the ball is really, really good. So man, they're really fun to watch. It's just like the Rapids were last year. The Rapids were insanely fun to watch last year. I think like Powers and like Deshaun Brown, those guys in their form had last year, any team in the league would have taken them. And Pareja, gets the most out of players like that, guys who work insanely hard and the insanely skillful ones on top of that. I mean, he gets good stuff out of anybody. So kind of the unsung heroes, Victor Ulloa. He's a guy that was benched a lot. He was signed as a homegrown product, benched by Henman for basically 3 seasons. He played behind Andrew Jacobson and James Marceline and a number of guys that are no longer with the team anymore. And all of a sudden, Pareja comes back, who coached him when he was an academy product, and when Pareja was in charge of the academy and the U19 or the U18s, and he gets the best soccer out of it possible because he plays the role well, he knows the role, and like Pareja has like tons of confidence in him. So it's fun to watch at the moment. I mean, I think it's going to slow down. This next month's like really, it's like RSL twice, Seattle, LA, and Vancouver, and it's like half and half away games and home games, but it's gonna be really difficult. So it'll come to a stop at some point in time.
But they ride the wave while they have it.
Yeah.
As you were talking about Oscar, I all of a sudden realized that it was kind of like we had like someone talking about their ex-girlfriend or something. Poor Tyler's over there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I am.
We were
sorry
talking about his ex,
Yeah,
and it kind of felt awkward.
I understand why he left. It's okay. It makes sense.
It's okay. He's gone back home.
I had closure. We're good.
Yeah, closure. You've got Pablo now.
Yeah.
Well. There's just thoughts on Pablo.
Great player. Love the guy. Doesn't know how to manage at all. Cannot look at talent or identify a caliber of a player at all. I mean, he's still starting Watts at times, and Danny Mwanga is getting minutes. I mean, come on.
Danny Mwanga still in the league?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, did he ever fall off?
And he plays. He plays.
God, I used to think Danny Mwanga was like the big thing.
When I think of
Okay.
Danny Mwanga, I think of I think it might have been his first or second MLS goal when he was at Philly,
Yeah.
and he absolutely just leathered a ball from it was 30 out, and it didn't go any higher than 3 feet off the ground, and it was instantly I have to watch this kid, and just from then on,
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing.
The
I
guy
scored a goal like that on FIFA earlier.
practice
With Danny
all-star, man.
Mwanga.
Practice all-star, Danny Mwanga. It's
Practice all-star.
how good he is with the reserves. You put him up in the big times, no, it's terrible. Slow, doesn't move well, off or on the ball. Pathetic.
It's like one of those what might have been, like Satella and
Mm.
Freddie. You remember that? I think it was like that I think it was the team Holden was on that made the Olympics back. What was it 08 maybe? They had a bunch of those young guys on it. I remember Holden was on there, and I can't remember who else was on there. But I remember watching that team we were going to dominate at the World Cup a couple of years, and then two of them made it to the senior team. That's what happens. That's what happens around American soccer. Seems like we don't really develop our young kids enough. But that could be its whole own episode.
Yeah.
All right, so flipping over to the Eastern Conference, it looks like there's beginning to be a little bit of a split from the pack, from the top two. Sporting and DC are kind of pulling away from the rest of the group. There's about 5-6 teams. I'm pulling up the standings. Underneath them, yeah, you have Toronto at 32, Columbus 30, New York 28, New England, Philadelphia 27, Houston, Chicago 25, Montreal. I guess they're still in it. They have 17. Probably not. But mathematically, they're alive. They're only 11 behind fifth place. I guess they could come out of nowhere and do something. They did beat Chicago the other day, which is sad for Chicago's playoff hopes. But my question, other than Sporting and DC, do you guys see anybody else possibly coming out of the East? Can Toronto get that star power together and make a run maybe? New York, their star power?
I think New York will be fine. I think Toronto. I just would like to see Toronto do well, because you can't have that much fanfare and that much money spent and then disappoint that club again. They've just suffered disappointment after disappointment since their inception. So I mean, I just hope for their sake that they actually do it, do something decent.
Make the playoffs for the first time ever?
Yeah, just that. We'll set the bar there, and then work. Next year is maybe win one game in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been around long enough. All the other Canadian teams have made it now ahead of them. It feels like they could at least make a playoff appearance.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean, as much as we see week in and week out, it just feels like it's still Sporting's conference to lose. You guys agree with that? Philip, I think you would agree.
I agree with that.
Who do you, as a Sporting fan, who do you think is their biggest challenge? No one. Look at him.
I'd like to make a joke and say Houston, but
we would have to make they'd have to make the playoffs first. You don't have to worry about the 8th place team in the East.
I mean, it's still a long season. DC's strong. I don't think Toronto's. I mean, I don't like to count anybody out, but Toronto really does not look good against Sporting. They don't match up well
at all.
Yeah. Columbus and New York. One team that I'm really interested in seeing, and it's going to sound weird because they've pretty much made every wrong decision this year, but the Philadelphia Union, they've really brought it, and I think they left something on the table against Houston because they were focused on the Open Cup. which understandable. I believe they're focusing on that in order to get a Champions League spot. But I really want to see them down the stretch because I think they're going to get into the playoffs, and I think they're going to really challenge some of the top teams. They might come in and surprise everybody, and they have a pretty good record at Sporting Park. I forget off the top of my head, but it's a crazy record that they have that not many other teams have. So I would actually be more worried about them than anyone.
It's Christian Maidana, man, that guy's fun to watch.
Yeah, they're pretty fun to watch. Speaking of Sporting, I didn't know you talked about Baylor not starting. He's not even on the bench. What is going on?
I mean,
APB for Claudio Baylor. If anyone has seen him, please have him report to, where are they, Nicaragua, Honduras?
Yeah. I mean, there was a Baylor fighting this weekend in the Toronto game. But
they have a pool goalkeeper on the bench. Not even one of their players. And Claudio can't make the bench. He's a designated player.
I mean, I hope that means that they found somebody that they're going to sell him to. But yeah, even that's strange to me. I mean, I didn't get to see who's on the bench, but
the bench is that keeper Malia, whatever his name is, Julial, Lopez, Stubble, Failhaber, Dwyer, Zizzo.
I said Dwyer's back. I can't see. I can see CJ doing the whole 90.
Differently in Kansas City.
What's that?
What was it?
So maybe designated player means something differently in Kansas City.
Yeah, because
double play.
Home or something.
Yeah, Sporting hasn't had that good luck with designated players. I mean, Omar Bravo, he lasted a year. Jefferson came in and he got blown out by Zuzi. That was when Zuzi came into his own, and now Baylor with Dwyer. I mean, really, you could argue that Baylor has been the best DP that they've signed. Not counting Beasler and Zuzi now because they developed with the team. But yeah, that's not really saying that. I mean, it says that Sporting does a great job in developing players, but trying to find big name talent or at least DP talent. That's something they got to improve on.
Yeah. So full-time in Guyana, Portland 4, Alpha United 1, MLS on the board with the victory. Sporting Kansas City is up next on Fox Soccer Plus if you have it. If not, look for the streams that will probably not work either.
Go wading into the streams.
It's also on Univision.
Yes, Univision Deportes, if you have that.
That's how I'm watching it.
Another well-carried channel.
Beautiful translation there. Oh, that was going.
Wait, no, it's Galavision. That's a channel.
Oh, Galavision.
One last thing on Baylor. Like a couple weeks ago, when there were rumors of his transfer, and it was coming across Twitter that he was going to go to Barcelona.
Oh,
that was awesome. Yeah. But then to realize that it was Barcelona and Ecuador. So that was fun for like a minute. It's like Messi, Neymar, Baylor. I mean, why not?
Didn't Baylor have 2 goals in his debut?
Yeah.
Am I like?
Yeah, I was there. It was against Philly.
Yeah.
He got the first and the game, but he got 2 of them. That's all I know.
And then not much more after. I think he had like 9 goals or something like that.
He started out the season strong. Like the first 3 months he had like 6 or 7 goals and then just tanked. But the guy can kick a PK. If there's anyone on that team that I would want to take a PK, it's Baylor.
Just get him on the field.
Yeah.
119th minute of overtime.
Guy just plows it at 100 miles an hour, just dead accurate.
Okay.
That's Houston's problem. They have no one that can take a penalty. If you watch the Seattle game a couple weeks ago, Davis. I think DeMarcus Beasley is going to be up next to take penalties just for the hell of it. They have like no one that takes. Giles Barnes is taking a few, but
take a page out of the Chivas playbook and put Tally Hall up there.
Listen, Chivas. Listen, we're wrapping up the show, but Chivas, you're not competing. You have like 30 people at your games. We love you. You're good. You have some great players. We like watching you. Hashtag free Kubo. But let Dan Kennedy take every set piece, please. It's all we ask. Penalties, like any free kick, any like within 30 yards, let Dan Kennedy. Someone can let 3 people stand back in the goal
Yeah.
for the time.
Well, I don't know why the Chivas manager doesn't just turn it up to overload on his tactics, man. I mean,
If Chalice was still there,
football manager.
Oh yeah.
if Chalice was still there, they would. Dan Kennedy scored when he was their manager, didn't he? In the Open Cup, I think he
Yeah.
scored that. He scored that penalty. See, this is what we need. Goalkeeper scoring goals.
If Chalice was still manager of Chivas, I would argue keeping Chivas.
Yeah, I could see that. Just like rebrand them, Chalice USA, and just let him just do crazy crap like the whole season, just like play just whatever he wanted.
He and Miguel Herrera, they are getting. I mean, they are getting me to love the Mexican national team, Miguel Herrera. It's kind of blasphemous, but it's hard not to hate him.
Miguel is awesome. He's awesome, and Men in Blazer talked to him the other day. If you guys heard that.
I haven't, no.
Get Herrera, huh? Wow.
Yeah, they got Herrera. So if you guys check that out. And last thing before we wrap up, I'll let you guys say one last thing. But my last thing, last week we reached out to ESPN. You guys lost Men in Blazers. If you're looking for a replacement, we are still here offering our services. Men on couches, men in jerseys, men with scarves. We're open to any. We'll change the name. Total MLS Roundtable is not firm. If you guys, anybody at ESPN wants to call us up,
We'll wear any type of formal overcoats of their choosing.
yeah, men in sweater vests, men in tuxedos.
MLS First Take,
Hey, we could scream at each other about ridiculous things. Freddie Adu is coming back, and he's going to be a star. Someone needs to give him a chance.
We'll talk about pro rel at least half the show every week.
We can't even talk about that. Don't even put it on Twitter. Trust me, if you've ever been on the Total MLS account, things get messy, and like Ron Burgundy said, that escalated.
Yeah.
Pro rel and artificial turf. That's all we're talking about.
Oh man. Oh Ted.
I love Ted.
Ted, you know you're blocked, and you still send tweets to Total MLS because your name comes up in our feed. So
Colorado, right? I've never seen this guy. Like, he lives in Colorado, I guess. I've never seen him at a match. Nothing.
Ted, you're blocked, but if you somehow get a hold of this, call Tyler up. You guys can hang out, talk pro rel during a Rapids game. He'd love it.
Well, me. I don't know if you guys have ever watched a Rapids game, but Em and I are always right there behind the goalkeeper. You'll see us, guaranteed. I've never seen this guy. Never.
Tyler's a kind of an internet celebrity, so look out for him. Look out for him tomorrow. You'll be there, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're bringing your gift for Landon.
Just just to the left of the goal, and I'll be right there. If you're facing the goalkeeper.
There you go. All right, Tyler. Any last words other than look for you tomorrow? Rapids turning it around.
I'm really hoping that we can actually do something tomorrow. It's against LA, so the hopes are not high, but I always go in with a good positive outlook. Like, well, maybe somebody will get hurt on LA on the plane ride, or walking into the stadium they'll trip, and we can get a win. But it's pretty bleak, sadly, but I'm hoping for it.
Philip, anything you'd like to? Any last words?
This Saturday will be Real Salt Lake versus FC Dallas for the MLS title belt.
Oh, the MLS title belt is changing hands like nobody's business.
Yeah, and this is actually the 4th straight MLS title belt match that is on national TV. So
see, the TV providers know what's up.
Friday night match, yeah.
It's nice to see the networks in the league.
Is that a Friday? Is that a Friday game?
Yeah, Friday night,
yeah.
9 o'clock.
Excellent.
I didn't know your last name was Carr, Bob. Like all of a sudden giving out all these stats, killing it. Yeah, no,
Corey,
this is the fourth straight match on national television.
Yeah. I had to look that up during the podcast, so
there you
Oh,
go.
don't tell us that, man.
full disclosure.
Yeah, man,
And
Oz. It'd be like Oz, huh?
and I'm
Opta Phillip.
and I'm counting the Spanish station as national televised.
Oh, the league
Even though we
does,
know
so.
that,
Wait, can you say it for me one more time, though? Can you say that Spanish channel? What was it called?
what's that?
What was the Spanish channel?
Univision.
Oh, there it is. All right.
There it is. Corey, any famous last words after your memorable entrance?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No,
The-
no,
no,
no.
the when we were talking about that '08 Olympic team that like Danny Satella and everything was on, I found that roster.
Mhm.
People you may not have realized were on that roster. Chris Seitz.
Mm.
This is for the Olympics in '08. Patrick Ianni
Oh, the great Patrick Ianni.
when he was
yes.
still with the Dynamo. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Parkhurst, Sturgis, Nathan Sturgis,
Wow.
Marvell
Awesome.
Wynn.
Also a former Dino, Nathan Sturgis, for like a few weeks.
Unwrap it.
Marvel Win, another
yeah.
Rapid.
Freddie Adu, Michael Bradley, Maurice Adu, Phil Hobber, Holden, Kleshton, and then Satella. And then the forwards were Altidore Davies, Robbie Rogers, and Brian McBride.
Oh yeah, they had one overage guy, McBride. God, that team was. Look at the promise on that team. I mean, there's still some promise there. You got some
Man,
guys.
healthy Charlie Davies was amazing. I want him so badly to like get back to
Robbie Rogers was playing
pre-disaster.
forward. Robbie Rogers was a forward. Now he's a left back.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
things change.
Also on that roster, Michael Orozco.
Ah, Michael.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, that was a heck of a roster.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the U.S. makes the next Olympic Games after what happened last time. That was ugly.
I don't see why not. Man, I'll tell you what though, when the U.S. played in Dallas, that was excellent soccer. I think that game ended like 2-2 against Mexico. In the qualifiers, we played some excellent soccer, and then we just completely, wet the bed from that point forward.
All right, guys. I think that'll wrap it up for us. Thanks, everybody who has watched. You've got a heck of a show if you watched. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. Go follow 32 Flags, where Philip writes and is taking charge of. They do a lot of great stuff with all of the European leagues. Check out MLS Title Belt. Check out the AASP, where you can find our audio on Stitcher, on iTunes. Till next week, we will talk to you guys later.